I forgot my mic. Guess that might come in handy, huh? So again, hi everybody. Good to see you. I'm going to do a real quick roll call and then we're going to get started. How's that sound? So, Goot Juice, it is good to see you. Thank you so much for sharing. John Lonzo, thank you for being here. Marlene, it's good to see you. I don't remember your name and I hate that you were taken in by what I not so lovingly referred to as the lie boat, and, Brett Miller, AKA Tommy Scoville. I'm sorry for that, but be very, very proud of your 7 months clean. That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely. Heat My Shorts, good to see you as always. Marilee, good to see you. Hef, good to see you always. Yes, he does. He needs to disappear from social media. Nicole, hello. Eat more pizza now. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Oh, I got an eye that's kind of like wanting to act up. I don't know. It's kind of feels like it's watering. So if you see me with the tissue, I'm not going to be crying. I don't think I might be mad, but I'm not surely not going to be crying. Constance June, it's always good to see you. Thank you for being a member. I looked the other day and I have like 99, 98 or 99. I can't remember. 98 or 99 members. I about fell over. I was absolutely shocked. Evie, always good to see you. Okay, we're getting down to the end, I think, or pretty close. I still think Heat My Shorts is the coolest name. Mrs. Scorpio Rising, good to see you. Yeah, always good to see you. Seen you quite a bit lately, it feels like. Mr. Todd, good to see you. I actually subbed to you a couple of days ago. Trying to make the rounds and get subbed up to people. Sarah Bowman, good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. Eat more pizza. That's very kind of you for the super sticker. Well, it's super chat. Actually, protect the kids and elderly, bankrupt the cult. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kathleen Leary, good to see you. Brother B, hello. Orphandale West, good to see you. Figured I'll do this before a lot more people come in. DJ Nico, good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you a lot lately, so it's really, really good to see you. Kristen M, good to see you. Cooler by the Lake. Iron Sword, I can't talk, sorry. Stacia Flonase. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Been a lot with school and your health, but yeah, be in when you can. Absolutely. No pressure. I just missed seeing your name. I was like, he's not been here for a while. So, yeah. Uh, Guys, what a mess, right? Hi Amy. I'm usually one of these people that I come in fully prepared. I have notes, I have all this stuff. We joke about how many notes does Susie have? How long is this live gonna be? Everything. Well, Susie has one, and all it's got is just a few little things that I just want to make sure I don't forget. So, yeah, this might be interesting, but y'all, this is just I don't know. What I want to do is I kind of want to tell you, what it's about, and then I'm actually just gonna go to the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it right about here so that I know um, where I was at. How's that sound? And we will go back through and because if you've got questions and comments and all that, yeah. Marilyn actually I'm gonna talk about that. She's the one that spurred this on, yeah. No, he's not behind bars yet that I know of. He wasn't last night. So, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then seriously, feel free to post questions and or comments, and I will get to as many of them as I can. I I usually just go an hour, but I can go a little over if we need to, or a lot over if we need to. So, because mischief isn't here to stop me. Yes, have Marilyn worked very hard on this, and I want to give all of the praise to her. I truly do. And so I just want to welcome everybody that is here. Thank you so much. Notice my shirt. Yay, y'all. So yeah, I ordered two actually. So I have what time is it? I better wait just a few more minutes. But yeah, my FTG. And yes, please do like, share, and subscribe, please. Um, I s- I am monetized and I need the views. So that's my whole YouTube spiel. So, okay. So I want to welcome all of you. Please, I gotta quit reading them, or I'm not going. I'm not going to stop reading them. I'll come back to you. I promise. So, anyway, I want to welcome everybody. Some of you are new to the channel. I hope that you will come back and see us. Give us a chance. See what you think of us. We do mostly talk about the cult of Scientology, but lately we seem to be doing a lot of things on child SA. Um, I ugh, y'all. Anyway, I did put a trigger warning with this video. It's a serious one because, first of all, I don't know what's going to trigger anybody. We are going to talk about child SA, but we're also going to talk about Brett Miller slash Tommy Scoville. And I know, y'all, oh Lord, I know that that tends to trigger some people, that they get all up in their feels if anybody dares to say anything bad about Tommy, Brett, whatever the hell his name is. It's Brett, by the way. So if you get all up in your feels and can't handle somebody spreading the truth about Tommy slash Brett, then see your way out of here because we are a place that is safe for our viewers and we're not afraid to talk about the hard stuff and we believe victims. So, and I know that Brett is on this whole campaign now about that women will lie for money, but this girl that he molested when she was 15 actually later refused money from him. So there you go, Brett. Way to go on you say that you support victims and that that you respect women and all this stuff. And then you put shit out there that says that women will lie for money. What a generalization. I mean, yeah, is it true? Some women will. But you know what? So will men. Uh, Look in the mirror, buddy. Look in the mirror. You've done a lot of lying for money and for less. So, you know, okay. So, if you have not yet watched Marilyn's live, Marilyn Honig at, uh, oh my God, what is it? Coffee Cults and Crafts, Coffee Cults and Crafts. Yeah. Talk about your mind going completely blank. Yeah. If you have not yet watched hers, please, after this one is over, of course, go watch her live from earlier today. I did not ask her for the information that she had. I want to send you over there if you want the receipts. If you still need the receipts that this guy is an absolute piece of shit, then go over to Maryland's because she's got them. She's not handing them out. I wouldn't have asked regardless, but, she will tell you, um, where you can get them, and they do cost $30 to get them. So if you want them, go to Maryland because she will. Now, she did say that if you're one of these little people that has, like, slammed us and trolled us and said horrible things about us, then screw you. She ain't helping you. Don't come over there trying to be nice. And I have the same feeling about it. I just am like, "You know what? Mm." So, anyway, there's that. I do want to, thank the FTG crew or guys or whatever they call themselves, I don't know. Um, you guys started this years ago, and really didn't draw a whole lot of attention, and I'm not saying that because we're now paying attention to you, that you have suddenly drawn the attention, but it is certainly a different crowd. You have drawn a different community, and I am thrilled. I am seriously thrilled. The first one of you that I started watching was Knife Hoarder. I actually started watching him when I was still a member of the Reese cult. Um, I wanted to see, who's this creep that's talking about her, that kind of thing. And I went over there and I'm like, he's not lying. Everything he says is true. It's just how you like in how you interpret it, right? Like if you're willing to look at it like, that it's a little sus, that how she's doing things and that, it's just kind of yeah, absolutely knife and goot. Yeah. And but anyway, and there's more. But, as I watched him every single day, it wasn't long in there somewhere is when I was presented with the receipts that, that showed that they were right about Reese, and I didn't know a whole lot about, you know, Tommy or Brett. I call him Brett now, but so many people just still insist on calling him Tommy. And I'm like, he doesn't get to have that anymore because Tommy was like a character that we were supposed to trust, right? And that we were supposed to be able to, share things with. And he doesn't get that anymore. He doesn't get that. And I mean, I've never been an addict. But I know a lot of people who have, and I have dear friends and family members that have, and I sent people to him, and then so I have that, like a I don't know, just guilt for having even said, "Go watch him," and I don't know. I need to listen to my husband more, I guess, because all along, Mark, he didn't like, you know, Brett, and he didn't like Reese. He thought that they were both gross, and so anyway, it's I should have listened to him. Don't tell him. Hopefully he doesn't thank you, Terry. Hopefully he doesn't, watch this one, right? And he'll be like, "Aha, I was right all along." But no, I do. I wanna thank the, FTG guys. I absolutely support you. I absolutely do. And, I don't know. I just I'm glad I found that community, and you guys have been nothing but absolutely great to me, and I have felt very comfortable and welcomed and all that when I've been around. So, anyway, thank you. So, okay, so what did Marilyn's live prove? So I'm gonna kind of I don't know, kind of assume you've seen it and kind of assume you haven't, I guess, at the same time. But what she did was she actually had, I think, 15, 16 pages that she got that absolutely, without a doubt, tell the whole story on Brett Miller and his sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl in the stairwell of their high school. Um, so yeah, at the time she was 15 and he was 16. So yes, he was technically a minor too, but he was actually charged as an adult. And so and I think that it was, because he absolutely I'm trying to be a little bit delicate. He it was forced. So, it wasn't like that they were like in the midst of something and she changed her mind and he continued. No, that wasn't it. She said no. She said no from the beginning. And, you know, so yeah. So anyway, but she did talk to somebody at the school, but it was just a weird kind of situation. Again, all that is detailed in Maryland's, and I really want you to watch hers because she did go to the trouble and the expense to gather this information. And so I'm kind of just doing a recap and then my opinions on it and a place for you all to speak because my normal audience is not necessarily the same normal audience that Marilyn has. And so we just, come at it from two different directions. Yes, Amy, he absolutely knew better. He absolutely did. So he then, after that, harassed her and I don't think it was taken real seriously at the school. I think it was just not really all that, taken that seriously. Um, he did continue to harass her. He even one time put $450 in her hand and wanted her to pleasure him. So, she refused and he continued to annoy her, and harass her. So, anyway, this went on for a while, and about 3 years later, they both were working at like a like a I think it was kinda like a little ski resort kinda deal, like, you know, they're at they're in Vermont where they were from. So, anyway, he then exposed himself to her and, just really, you know, was very forceful about it, but she didn't. Again, she's, like, not having any of it, and so, yeah, $450 back then was a lot of money, a lot of money. What do you mean, who is they? I'm not sure what that one is. If Kristen answers the who is they, if she can one of my mods clear that up in case I don't see it? But anyway, so, uh oh, Mischief, you're here. But, oh no, I'm in trouble. I didn't bring my iPad in, so if you start griping at me, I won't be able to hear you. So anyway, she ended up going to the owners or the boss or whatever of this um place that they both worked at, and he was fired. Okay. And she ended up at this point, she went to the police with it. Yes, this is Brett Miller, aka Tommy. So yeah, this is Brett Miller that has done this to this girl. We're not naming her. We're not gonna name her. So anyway, she went to the police. He was charged. He was actually convicted and he got 6 to 8 years, I think. Um and he got 6 to 8 years, but it was like a suspended sentence. So basically they slapped him on the wrist for it, which maybe if they'd have done something then, maybe, if at a young age, 19 or so, if he'd had to have gone to prison then as, a a sexual predator, then, maybe he wouldn't have gotten into all the crap that he did after that, but it just from everything that I've read from that point on, it's like that everybody kind of just I don't he had, like I don't mean a charmed life because he had kind of some he was a drug addict and all that, and he did spend some time in prison, but he just seemed to be able to, like, get out of things a lot, or people kind of, took up for him, and I think that that comes in with his con man thing where he can just, like, make people believe him and make people wanna help him, and, I mean, look at the success of the lie boat. I mean, he to this day has what is it? I wrote it down. 25.1 thousand subscribers still. Many, many, probably a more of a percentage are women than men. And how? But anyway, so yes, that is the truth. Marilyn's got the paperwork. She reads a lot of it out in her live, or it's a, video now. She reads it. Um, so you know what? All you people that want to say that we're lying, screw you. Screw you. All the people that have badmouthed the FTG guys, screw you. Fuck you. That's what I want to say. Is fuck you guys, Because nobody was lying. Nobody was lying that he's still a con man. You've heard it in his own words on that video or that audio, sorry, tape that Reese, Marissa, whatever, that she released. And he still has 25,000 subscribers. You can't all be hate subscribers, you can't be all hate watching. I mean, I know I'm guilty of that too. There's people I don't like that I go watch sometimes. I can't stand 90% of the people in Reddit, and I go over there and read their shit when they're lying about me, you know? But you have had this proven, Kristen Melinda. None of this is lies. He's the liar. Johnny, Kurt, whatever the hell his name is. You know, at the time when Tommy Brett, whatever, I'm so mad I'm gonna get his name wrong every time probably. But anyway, at the time that he came out of prison from all the crap that he had done, okay, bank robberies and guns where he bought guns from federal agents and then sold them back to federal agents because that's how smart he is. And then he spent all that time in prison and yet somehow managed, while being an enforcer and this, big tough guy, he somehow managed to get away with that one single prison Hell, I was in jail 19 days and I thought I was probably going to get a tattoo. Of course, I would have been asking for one, not, being forced on me. But for 19 hours, sorry, 19 days. I wish. Oh, but anyway, he didn't get one single tattoo. I mean, yeah, he's got those Alice in Wonderland ones. Those are scary, real scary. Mm. I mean, come on, right? His whole Q thing is nothing but a lie. You know it is. Why would he have to hide? Why would he have to hide Q's identity so much? None of that makes sense. None of it. None of it makes sense. But yeah, so all of you 25.1 thousand people that still want to say that Brett Miller is a good guy, you're nuts. You're in a fucking cult. You are listening to this con man, an absolute con man. And you're putting his words above the words of victims, above the words of the law, above the words of people that have researched and researched and researched. You're even putting it above little old Marissa, you know? I mean, we got our own problems with Marissa. Let's be sure, admit to that. But, the thing is, I mean, she's got, what did I say? 19.4 thousand subscribers, which absolutely still astounds me that she's got that many, considering how we all know what a liar and a grifter, sad fishing, ugh, dry begging bitch she is. But she's still got that many, 19.4 thousand. But you know what? I have less of a problem with her. She didn't rape anybody. She didn't shove her you know what in somebody's mouth. I'd have bit that son of a bitch off. I'd have Lorena Bobbitt. I mean it. He'd be walking around. I don't even want to. He wouldn't have it. I guarantee you that. So, I don't know. I don't understand it. I watched Marilyn's live and I was just fuming the whole time because I thought these people have come at Marilyn. They've come at me too, but I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. If they come at me, hey Marilyn, good to see you. If they come at me, I don't care. But when they come at my friends and they want to talk about my friends and how they're liars and they're making this shit up and they're drama queens and all this, that's when I get pissed. And so watching her live today, I was so mad because I thought first of all, you go girl. You deserve it. You deserve this. It's a victory lap. Did she expose something that we don't know? No, she didn't. We already knew it. What she did was she offered a little more proof, which we already had. We had the newspaper article that talked about it. We had the the little divot that was in his police record or jail record that talked about it, and nobody would believe us even then. So are they going to believe this? Do they think that Marilyn made it up? I mean, did she type it up and print it? And you know, no, she didn't. She just happens to live in the same state and was a bulldog with finding out the information about it, where I was, off over here planting flowers and jalapenos, y'all. She so thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. And if anybody comes at you and wants to call you a liar, from now on, I want to put them on. I'll put them on blast. I will put every single person. No, Kim, nothing new happened other than we have got absolute proof, and you can see it on Marilyn Honig's page. So back to Johnny because I got sidetracked. Johnny Kurt. Okay, so his brother comes out of prison, and he knows. He knows his history. He knows that he did this to this young girl. And I mean, granted, it had been several years. So, I mean, I get that. My husband just pulled up. Every time I see somebody pull up, I'm thinking, please don't have any more deliveries. But anyway, so you know, I understand still loving your brother. I understand that. Okay. Yeah. So, but he brought him into the whole pepper community. He introduced them to that community, which in turn, introduced him to a lot of other communities. Kristen, he's 15, um, including this one, where he was able to prey on people that were already victims, a lot of which from sexual assault, from a cult. He obviously wanted to put himself into the, the whole Scientology anti-Scientology scene because he not only went for Marissa, but for one up before him, and then when that one didn't work out, he went for Marissa. So, I mean, who would be next, right? Who's next? Because there's still people in this very community that still believe that piece of shit. They still believe that everybody's making all this stuff up. But I blame Johnny just as much. I mean, yeah, apparently he wasn't in the hallway when that happened. He wasn't in the stairway. But I just remember, and I'm going to paraphrase, I'm going to get this wrong. But I remember them laughing and cutting up, the 2 brothers, and saying something about that if there had been a police officer around that caught them when they were, doing whatever, that they would have been in jail for life. Why? So what were they doing that would have put them in in jail for life? It just so I'm just like, so how innocent is Kurt? I don't think he's very innocent. I think that he's got some shit that we haven't figured out too. Maybe he just hasn't been caught. And another thing, Brett, he likes to threaten the women. He hasn't ever threatened me. And I don't know if that's because I don't matter to him or if he knows not to, because I won't put up with it. I just won't. But, whenever Marilyn was coming out with the stuff before, he did threaten Marilyn. He sent her that email and was very threatening to her, and we've got a lot of evidence of him threatening other women and, his whole, this is Rock. You don't know who you're messing with. This isn't Tommy. This isn't Brett. You're messing with the Rock. And I'm like, oh, barf. You know, limp dick wonder, basically. But we know that's a lie too, right? Because, yeah, he went all the way to Mexico and smuggled Viagra up his ass when he could get it right here. We know damn well it wasn't Viagra. Why would he? I mean, you're going to risk, seriously, you're going to risk going to prison or whatever for Viagra? I mean, he could go over there and get it legally. He didn't have to hide it and put it in your pocket, dude. So I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that there is absolutely no way that Marissa did not know about this. You know how she is, y'all. If you know, you know. She records everything. She even says that she runs background checks on everybody, that she does all this stuff, right? She didn't know. People told her early on, and she didn't know. And yet she moves this chomo in with her and her 15-year-old son. And then poor pitiful her, he was running a con on these other women, but thank God they weren't as pretty as her. What the hell? I think they deserve each other. I don't know. I kind of wish they would get back together and just run off to somewhere. Just I don't care. Siberia, and I don't think those people deserve them either. I mean, bless their hearts, right? They've already got the whole, stigma of it being freaking Siberia, but there's got to be somewhere we can send them. There is this island off of Maui that, nobody goes to. It had a bunch of lepers and stuff on it. And so like you can't even go over there. So I mean, maybe they could go there. They could eat off the land, and just stay the hell away. I don't even care. They don't even need a house. It's pretty weather. They can just go like live off the earth. I'm just ugh. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they're together anyway. I don't get it. Do you notice that every time one of them disappears for a couple of days, the other one does too? Every time? Does that mean they're together? No, but it is weird. You gotta admit. Yeah. So, I don't know, guys. Like I said, I really do. I want you to go watch Marilyn's video. I'm in no way trying to ride her shirt tails. I just was so pissed that I knew that I had to go on, or I probably wouldn't be able to concentrate on the very important shows that I've got coming up this week. I cannot quit being pissed about Brett and all of his lies and all of his threats and the women that still support him. And I don't mean that bad. Like, I'm not going, well, I mean, dumb men can support him. I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is that I have had so many people, right, that have come at me that have said that I need to be nice to Reese because uh, women need to stick together. We need to build each other up. And yet, we have women on the lie boat still believing his shit. They're not taking this victim's side. And how many people, honestly, how many molest somebody, one time and never do it again? It doesn't generally happen that way. If you look at statistics, he is extremely, extremely predisposed to do it again. I don't believe for even, as long as it takes to fart that he has not molested somebody else. I don't believe it. I mean, oh God. How many more victims are there out there? And how many would it take before some of these asshole piece of shit supporters of his are going to believe it? Who's it going to take? You know? I don't know. It just, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be offended. I mean, I've been in this fight for about a year, but the FTG guys have been in it for years trying to tell everybody about Kurt and Brett and, nobody wanted to believe them. I don't know. It just and they presented evidence. I mean, I don't get it. The thing is that when I started watching them, I did believe them. It took me a little bit of time to get myself out of there. Um, it took me not I wasn't so hooked up with Brett. It was more with Reese, but at the time they were almost one and the same. Um, I had to literally kind of deprogram myself to not feel sorry for her for you know, realizing that she knows exactly what she's doing, and I know damn well that she knows the truth about Brett. And the thing is yeah, let's pretend for a minute that we believe that they're split up. So yeah, they're split up. I still believe that she knew when she had him living there with her son. And as we're going to see on Wednesday when we talk about another convicted child molester, maybe they get molested or they get convicted of molesting one sex, but that doesn't mean that they're not doing it to others too or attempting to. And so, even though Brett was convicted of molesting a girl, who's to say that he wouldn't have done anything to her son. Who's to say that he wouldn't have given her son horrible advice? I mean, horrible advice. What a, that's who I want my kids to take after, right? Such a role model. And and even now, when she knows, even if we pretend that she did not know until they broke up, and then she finally got, clear-eyed enough that she's like, "Oh my god, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that." She still doesn't really say anything bad about him. She talks about missing him and, that she loved him so much. I'm sorry. First of all, there's no way she didn't know. She checks out everything. I ran a background check on Mark in 2002 when we got together. I was good friends with the wife and son of the Tulsa County sheriff, and I said, "I need to know everything." So, yeah, I found out everything, and that's not how I am. I'm not one of those people that runs background checks on everybody. For one thing, I had been married for 17 years. I mean, I got married young, y'all. I mean, I was like 10. No, I was 18. But, I just, it wasn't in me to just automatically not trust people and to run background checks on everybody. But I did on him because I knew that he was going to be around my kids. Now, had the background check come up with even a little bit of a blip on it that looked like it wasn't just, I mean, you'd have to know Mark. I don't even think he's ever, if he has, I don't know if he's even ever had a speeding ticket. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't sped, but he's just, you know, a goody two shoes. Me, on the other hand, I am not. I am like the trouble of the family, apparently. But yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going to go to my chat and see what y'all have got to say. And I'm gonna try to go up here and figure out where I was at when I quit. Hold on. I'm gonna have to I need to plug in my mouse. I've got one and I just have not, it's a wireless mouse and I just have not, oops, I think I saw it and then went past it. Hold on. Maybe not. Sorry, guys. But yeah, seriously, if you've got any questions or anything, please feel absolutely free to ask. Mm. Sorry, my throat's dry. I've been taking allergy medicine again because of my eye draining and my nose itching and everything's blooming outside. We've been planting. My husband is a big gardener, so yeah. DJ said that he saw some of Marilyn's earlier. Yeah. Amy, no, he's not behind bars yet, but I wish he was, right? I mean, this is something that he did years ago, but is he any different now? He's still very threatening to women. He's still very, like, I don't know, just ick, really. Okay, I'm going to try to skip through the ones where you're just talking to each other. I love that, so don't stop doing that. But I do, in the interest of time, want to. So, yeah, I have Marilyn did. She worked really hard on this, and she says, "Yay for the shirt!" And yeah, awesome shirt. Yeah, lots of comments on the shirt. Thank you. Yeah, I love it. I bought two actually. This one's like a navy blue, and then I got a black one too. I think I might have actually ordered another one. I don't know. I'll be like wearing them every day, I guess. I don't know. Well, the other day, because and be watching for it because she is going to come on. The other day, Sister Mary Bougie was going to come on and she was going to wear her little FTG. shirt, so Aw. Stacia said, "Watching Natalie, Marilyn, Eric Rader, and now you. Watch Jenna in between." You've been busy. Mike says, "My account got suspended for a while because some grifter named Mudflaps keeps reporting me, but I can comment on live chats. Want to say hello to Goot and Knife Hoarder and happy he's doing better." Me too. Y'all, Knife Hoarder, he has become literally like a brother to me. I love him like a sibling. I don't want everybody to go, "Oh, Susie," no, because I'm like old, y'all. I'm like 58, gonna be 59. And so, but yeah, he does. I mean, even if I was 30, he feels very brotherly to me. I feel very attached to him. And when he was in the hospital, I could not hardly function. I was so worried. Isn't it ridiculous how we get so attached to people? But I really do. He's great. There's a lot of you that are great, and I hope to see more of you. Iron Sword, I hope to see you more. I mean, there's a bunch of you. Brother B, I hope you come back. Oh, Tanya says, "First time making a live. I'm always replay crew. Love the hair." Thank you. It's a little weird today, but thank you. I uh, I was bored, and so I wanted some color, and I started to go the whole thing like a bright color. And then I thought, "You're gonna look crazy. You're too old for that." So I just did a little bit. So anyway, but I love it. I don't know. I I thought about doing blue next time. I don't We'll see. So, I've also thought about doing it like silver with the color, with the purpley, pinky purple, whatever in it, or the blue even. I thought those either of those colors would look good with silver. But then I don't know. I'm afraid I'm gonna look even older. It's good to see you guys. Honestly, I think I've said hello to most of you. Yeah, Eat More Pizza says, "Yes, trigger warning. If you need a break due to the subject matter, please do so." Absolutely. Ah, Tugboat Tommy. Oh, yeah. Nicole, the lie boat. Absolutely. Heat My Shorts says, "Brett admitted to ripping people off when he didn't even need the money, but it was just so easy." Exactly. Exactly. And he admitted um, on that video or that audio that Reese published that he was doing it now. And one of the women that he was actually conning is usually in our chat, but I haven't seen her for a few days, so I don't know if I've made her mad or if she's just busy. But but yeah, and I mean, as far as I know, Reese still has that up. So if you've not heard that audio tape, it's Tommy Scoville, the long con. You can go listen to hers. It's relatable Reese. Aren't I sweet? I'm sending her views. But I am not convinced that they're not in on it together. I'm still not convinced that audio is even legit. I kind of wonder if they were I don't get it. I don't know to what end, because I thought he surely wouldn't make an audio like that because he could lose his shit, right? He could lose everything, but he didn't. So maybe, I don't know. She hasn't either. Yes, thank you, Nicole. She put a link to Marilyn's live. Yeah, DJ, the information is very upsetting and really enlightening, but truth prevails. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is. And Marilyn she read the majority of it, y'all. You know, she she read the majority of it. I will tell you that, it says sodomy, and you know what most of us think of when we hear sodomy, but basically any kind of sexual act that is not, you know, the typical whatever it's called, I don't know, is sodomy. This was a case of forced oral. So, yeah. Stacia Flonase says, more people driving up. I'm like, yeah, he has no clue what being a good human is. He's a con man, grifter, sexual deviant. Prove me wrong. I think he's proven you right, sweetheart. I really do. He proves you right. Yeah, brother B, FTG rules, great group of guys they are. It is a group. I can't talk, y'all, but if you watch me, you know I can't talk. I don't know. I get all tongue tied. Amy says that they were blocked from other people's channels when they said anything. Yeah. Yeah, they all say that, that they're open to conversation, that they have nothing to hide, blah, blah, blah. But if you say anything that is not absolutely complimentary, you get booted. First of all, you get attacked by the subs, and then you get blocked. So Marilee says, I never fell for her crap. I know, you never did. You never did. It's so funny. Stacia says he always raised my shackles. I didn't trust him. Something was way off and I couldn't watch him. It seemed a con. I understand that. I would watch him and I would think, this guy's full of shit. This guy is nothing but a con man. And then I would think, well, of course he's a con man. He sits there and tells you he is. You're just like, seeing more into it. And I am a very skeptical person. Okay. My years in the newspaper business taught me to be very skeptical of everything because if you're not, you believe everything. And like, I had to cover a murder one time, well, more than one time, but I covered this one in particular. And I went and I talked to the victims' families and everything, and I believed absolutely everything that they said. And then I went and talked to the suspect, the person, well, he's convicted. So he's actually dead now. But so anyway, I guess I don't have to say alleged or suspect or whatever. I went and talked to the guy before he got convicted. So I talked to him and his family, and I actually believed about 75% of what he said. I kind of still do believe about probably 60% of what he said, but that case in itself really, really taught me to be more skeptical than I had ever been before because I saw it for myself that, how easy people, good people or bad people, can make you believe whatever they set out to make you believe. And the worse person that they are, and the more that they have to gain by making you believe that, the more likely they're to do it. And we all know now, anyway, that Brett had a whole lot to gain by making us believe him because not only was he scamming a couple of women here and there, right? But he was also scamming everybody that gave money to get Suboxone for different, people that he was helping. Because we know from that tape that he would get all this money and then he would use like a third of it to buy Suboxone for them. And then he would pocket the rest and either buy himself Suboxone or whatever else he needed. And so he was scamming everybody, everybody, even the whole journal thing, right? Even that, something as benign, really, as the whole journaling thing. But we hear from Alan that when Alan was there for quite a long time, he never saw him journal. He never saw anything in that journal. As far as he knew, it was empty. And so we know that even that was nothing but a lie. Everything, they say if their mouth is moving, they're lying. And I think that that is absolutely true for Brett and Reese. The only thing I give her credit for is that Apparently, she's not a chomo, but she brought one into her home where her son, at a very impressionable, I'll get it in a minute. He was at a very impressionable age, and she has brought him into that life. I mean, she brought him into her parents' lives. I mean, don't you know that that would have been just amazing to him if he could have scammed her family out of money? Because I mean, they are loaded, and Amy says he's way hardcore. Absolutely. Mike said Brett's BS will catch up with him someday. He will scam. Hold on. He will scam someone's mom, and her sons will want to talk to him about it. Now he's avoided, or how he's avoided something like that so far is almost a miracle. Amen on that. That's what I thought. I thought, man, I don't know. Mike says also Brett lands in jail with his bad paperwork. That will be it for him 100%. Well, he's had that bad paperwork and they didn't know it. I mean, somehow or another, wherever he was at, it didn't get pointed out because we know because Sammy from after the bars was in the same prison with him and actually was in I feel like such a fraud using some of these words, but he was in the shoe with him. And so he didn't know about it. I mean, and he says that he was, in a position that had he known about it or that had people that he was affiliated with in the prison had known about it, that it was very likely that he might have had to have, done some work. and and he also said that nobody gets stabbed on accident or by a mistaken identity. And I heard that, Russ said that if that happens, then your life is at risk because you've, now fucked up basically. So I don't know. I'm believing all these other people a whole lot more than I'm believing anything that Brett has to say. Mhm. Cindy B, good to see you. She says, Mom of the Year as Knife calls her. Hold on. I don't know why it is not popping up there. Yeah. Another one doing the long con. Absolutely. I believe so too. I really do. Have says, same Susie. I sent people too. Yeah. Don't you just, yeah. And yeah, my ex had his number from the jump. Yeah. Yeah. People that know, you know, they know. Like, I don't know. I feel like a dummy. Yeah, I think he's on borrowed time too. Like, I think he's going to fuck with the wrong person. Amy says you had to find out for yourself and look at how you're helping everybody that's watching. I hope so. Yeah, go watch Marilyn's. It is good. And it's not real long. So, and she gets to it. Yeah, I don't know, Marlene, saying that you don't believe that for 1 minute that AI bought him out. I don't know. I know that I don't know. But what I had heard was that it was like $45,000 or something, which that seems to be the magic number because that's supposedly what Reese got from Jeff and neglected to tell her people that then gave her money to, thousands of dollars to move. So when she already had the money from Jeff that she kept even after the move, said she would probably never see because he would never pay her and, blah, blah, blah. When all along she had it. So, but anyway, I was told that it was $45,000. And if that's the case, Sammy said that he knew that he was supposed to be getting this payout from AI. Now, again, do we know? No. Do I necessarily believe him? No. Um, but I don't know. But if he did, it's certainly not the millions of dollars that he is alluding to. If he thinks that $45,000 is gonna set him for life, I don't know where he's been. Well, I guess he's been in prison. I guess and his mommy is paying all of his bills, so I guess maybe he thinks $45,000 will set him for life, but one of these days, mommy's gonna die. Mommy's not a spring chicken, and, yeah, too bad that girl, right, Mike? Too bad that girl didn't have an older brother to teach him to keep his hands to himself and his pee-pee stick too. Stacia says, "Barb was the first to bring all this to my attention. I'm so glad Goot Juice, Hot Sauce, and Knife Hoarder were telling their stories about the grifting and lying." Me too. A girl says, "Please like it up for Susie. That would be nice." It just helps with the algorithm, y'all. That's the views and the likes and the, chats and the messages later and stuff like that. It helps with my algorithm. That's what I'm tr I'm just trying to get my views up so that Google has to pay me because I do not ever expect my viewers to do that. When they do, it just about makes me cry. So, anyway, Stacia says, "I feel bad for Marilyn. She doesn't deserve the harassment from those criminals." I know it. Again, Goot, you are right. 450 back then was a lot. Okay, I'm going to try to get through here. Amy says, "Reese is so vile for even having any thoughts with that guy." Yeah, I mean, I was really like, I'm trying to make sure I say this right because when I get tired, sometimes I just, kind of vomit words. But, like, I have absolutely 0, 0 problem with the fact that he or anyone else has been to prison or whatever. I think that, they serve their time, if they come out and they correct their behaviors and they live a good life, whatever, then that's all that matters to me. I don't I don't hold that against them. And to be absolutely perfectly honest, okay? If I am perfectly honest, had Brett came out from the get-go, like how he came out and said, "I'm a con man, I'm a bank robber, I'm a gun runner, I'm all these things," right? If he had come out and said, "Guys, there's this, I had this situation back when I was 16. I completely was a douche and I fucked up and this happened and, blah, 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 blah." Now, would I still think he's, gross? Yeah. But I wouldn't have the righteous indignation that I have with it right now because at least if he had been honest, but to this day, he's lying about it. He is, just sweeping it under the rug. He's saying that women will lie for money. All he wants to cover is other chomos. What the hell? With all of what? I mean, isn't that kind of like going back to the scene of the crime kind of thing? I mean, in a weird way. I don't know. It's just like just anyway, just be honest. I mean, if you have shit in your background, it is way better to be honest and regret it. But he shows no remorse, no regret, no acceptance of what he did. And yet she wore a wire and got him on this tape admitting that he did it. and the cops got him. As soon as they had enough, they got him. And then he was convicted. So the fact that he continues to say, it was statutory. No, it wasn't. It was never listed as statutory. Never. He was charged as an adult. What, baby? Hi, sweetheart. Grandma's busy with her show right now. You'll have to hang out with Grandpa, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe it's hello.
That's her little dog, Mavis. So
Probably can't see her very well.
yeah, she's hard to see. She's a little Shih Tzu, and she has just about no face. Okay, but you better go with Grandpa because
Okay.
Grandma's talking about important stuff that it's not kid stuff.
Okay.
That's my granddaughter, one of them. So anyway, he was trying to pay her, old man on the hill, he was trying to pay her $450 to orally pleasure him. And what? Don't you like looking at dicks? You know? No, she probably just doesn't like being molested. There's a difference. Uh, so I'm going to go down here and see what else we've got. Okay. Yeah, Mike, I agree. Good for her for going to the cops. She most definitely saved other women. I hate that it wasn't taken real seriously the 3 years before that, but, you know. Sarah Bowman says Brett is dangerous. I completely agree. Dee Dee, she's saying hi to everybody. Good to see you. It's absolutely great to see you here. See, I told you I would remember that your name was Dee Dee. Yeah, DJ, absolutely. When it happened, there was a very sloppy way to handle stuff, and the schools wanted to avoid scandals at or on the expense of the girls abused. Absolutely. Yeah, I would too. I think that that's listed in that paperwork, Lady Victoria. I think that it lists what personality disorder he has, but there was a lot of stuff that Marilyn wasn't comfortable going into, and I don't blame her. Um, if you knew all of the threats and just the hate that she's gotten, that I've gotten, that Hef's gotten, that anybody that speaks out has gotten, you would understand a lot. Yeah, I think he might have bought some subs too. Yeah, they don't unsub. I believe that. Old man on the hill, I agree. He should not be allowed on social media. I absolutely agree. Yeah, Eat More Pizza Now says he was not a fan, mostly because he didn't like their content. I did not like the content when Reese and Tommy, or Reese or Marissa and Brett were together, because it was just all very sexual and in an icky kind of way. I am in no way, like a prude. I don't know. I mean, her haters have said that, I'm old and that I'm in my twilight years and that, you know, I don't know, on and on and on about how old I am. But I don't know. But I mean, I just don't care how many fingers he can put in her butthole. I don't care. I don't need to listen to an audio of her giving him a blowjob. I don't I don't need that. Yeah. Lynn, absolutely. Brett is a federal snitch. That's how he got in less trouble than what he even got in, was that he constantly snitched on everybody. Can you imagine? I mean, all I can think is that if that if the, prisoners where he was at knew that he was a snitch and he had sex offenses on there, or sex offense, I guess, um, that I can't imagine things would have been very pleasant for him. Now, how he kept that stuff from getting out, I don't know. I don't pretend to understand it. I I don't know. I just think they just had to have not known, because I think that I mean, they kind of like take out the trash in prison a lot of the time. Hey, DOA is a fraud. Angie says, "Sorry I'm late. Looks like I tuned in at the perfect time." If not, if anybody comes in late, just please go watch the replay and go watch Marilyn's video if you haven't already. Doing it Deb's way. Good to see you too. Wild Poppy. I like that name. I have a dog named Poppy, so anything that says Poppy, I like. Which I like poppies as in the flower, but which is why part of the reason. She's actually also named after uh, Jenna Bush's grandpa, George Bush. They called him Poppy, and I always liked him and her. And yeah, I make no, I do not hide the fact that I'm a Democrat, but I have also voted both sides of that aisle. I'm very rarely ever, you know, towing the line kind of deal. I do what I feel. But anyway, yeah, I have a English bulldog named Poppy, and she is a little fat turd. Yeah. Stacia says Spicy Susie is aware. Susie overholds. Kristen says, look at how much he's making per stream. That's what it's about, money. But bots don't give him money, so he's making way less than minimum wage on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Way less. I had a video about that the other day on how much I made. I made a whole $283 last month, y'all. And I had a lot of videos with a lot of view for me, not for them. I mean, my little channel. Mischief says, and who tells you not to go to Reddit? I know. I know. There are some nice people over there, though. I've had some nice people from Reddit that have actually contacted me away from Reddit and been like, we don't agree with this. We don't agree that you got banned. You weren't doing anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. A lot of, I mean, seriously, like I say a lot. It's been under 12, but I'm thinking it's about 10, that I've had about 10 people that have actually come to me and said that they mostly just read too. Hef says, Krista Melinda, please get out of there. You are better than that. I guess. I don't know her, but if she stays, she's going to have some splaining to do. Yeah, Nicole says that's the one that gets me. Kristen, I always liked her. She needs to watch Knife Order and Goot, etc. But I bet she won't. Well, no, she won't. John says that they now refer to him as Chommy. Yeah, Mike says how anybody can believe him is almost impossible. Maybe some are so invested in him that they don't want to face the truth. I think that that's a lot of it. I really do. Like it's the same with Reese, that they cannot, admit that we were right all along, because then that makes them feel foolish. Well, I would still feel foolish, and I would feel more foolish the longer that I stayed. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I do not get it. I don't know how that he can go on an audio and say that he is using his channel to con people out of money, and how YouTube still allows him to have a channel. I don't get it. Angie says truth bombs are happening and Spicy Susie. Yeah, an enforcer, ha ha. He says, "Dude, I do single arm curls with more than what he weighs." Grifters will grift. Yeah. Yeah, Hep says he gathers blackmail material, and that's why some don't leave or speak out. I've spoken to several victims, and they are scared. It's so frustrating. Absolutely. I know of some of these people. Hi, Canadian girl. Yeah. Kathleen Leary, I wondered about this. I really did. You know how you just kind of you have these thoughts and then you don't necessarily say it, but you still wonder it sometimes. Alice in Wonderland tattoos may be a nod to child essay. Lewis Carroll was thought to have an unhealthy relationship with young girls. That's true. And I've kind of always wondered that too, and yet I was just like, "Oh, you're just being silly." Yeah, Amy says, "Why would anyone write a letter on behalf of someone that they do not even know their name or anything about them?" Yeah, whenever he was trying to get everybody to write these letters for Q, I mean, I don't know what that was about. I really don't. I don't know what kind of a con that was, but it was a con. I will never. He'd have to walk up to me and somehow prove to me that I am Q. Like I don't know. I just don't believe it. Yeah, maybe these viewers are creepy themselves, Canadian girl. Maybe birds of a feather. Yeah. Kristen says, "Don't put yourself in association with someone who will probably bring hateful drama to your life. These folks told what they're about, believe them." Marilyn says, "Hey, friends." She's driving home from Walmart and just wanted to say hi. Hello. Mischief says, "Yeah, I'm feeling pretty stupid about that letter." Uh, Ms. Diva, good to see you. She says, "Smash the like, everyone." Yeah, Debbie, I welcome, by the way, and I can't believe he still has a channel. Hep says she loves Spicy Susie. Yes, Dee Dee, good job earlier, Marilyn. She did do a good job. Marissa. Yeah, let's get it right. Yeah, I know I started saying Marissa now, but it is Marissa. That's how her name is supposed to be pronounced, and she's very, you know, serious about that. I don't blame her. I mean, honestly, but that's how they came up with Reese, that her name is spelled Marisa, and it was after her grandmother or somebody. So thank you guys. A lot of people laughing and applauding and mhm. Yeah, I would have DJ, I would have renamed him to Stumpy. If I'd have been that girl. I'm not kidding. I am not I can bite, y'all. I'm a biter. I am a biter. Hey, Lady Victoria, good to see you. Oh, her name is Relatable Reese. Hmm. DOA is a fraud. Is it a coincidence that Mexican long hair covered Reese today and Susie is covering Tommy? I didn't know that he covered Reese, so it's a coincidence. I'm assuming I didn't know anything about it. I don't watch him. He was rude to Marilyn, and so I mean, like seriously rude. So you can kiss my ass. Yeah. Mike says the hef. Wow, really, what a scumbag. Someone's going to make it so that it's not possible for him to do that to someone at some point. He's playing a dangerous game, but how is it that nobody has dirt on him? He's shameless. Nothing sticks. I mean, this is dirt. This is dirt. The audio that Reese played, dirt. It doesn't get much dirtier than this, and yet it doesn't stick. Nobody seems to care. Yeah, YouTube is the Wild West, Dee Dee. Yeah. Wild Poppy says in the pic she asked for is downright subterranean given who her boyfriend was. Yeah, and she says that she showed him those pictures or sent him those pictures because, he even did the whole where he acted like he was gonna vomit and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Sure, buddy." Yes, brother B. Everybody support Shabby, screw Marissa. And by the way, if you haven't already, I did put the phone number and the menu where you can order and have it delivered from Shabby. You have to do it by phone. They do not have a website that does it, but I did put that in there and they will ship to you. They have a bunch of stuff, which sounds absolutely delicious. I can't wait to get some. And anyway, and also the Potts meat market thing that the guy that was doing the interviewing of the daughter from Shabby's, um his meat thing, he delivers too, is what I'm trying to say. His meat delivers. His meat market thing delivers too. And it didn't seem like the prices were all that bad. I mean, of course, it's higher when you're going for that kind of quality. It's going to be higher than what we spend at Walmart or, you know, whatever. But it didn't seem all that high. I've bought from a place here in Oklahoma, and they're higher. And so even with delivery, I think I could probably get there just as cheaper. So, Amy, thank you so much for this super sticker. That is so kind. Nova Haven, good to see you. She's going to be on our channel on Wednesday. So at I think 3 Central Time, it will be great to see her. I did go ahead and get that scheduled for I scheduled it earlier, so she is definitely on the books to be here. Can't wait to see her. And she's got a channel too. You know, and anybody that's got a channel, seriously, whether you've got a big channel, a little channel, whatever, if you'll go to the comment section after the live, you can just put in a comment that says, "Hey, come check out my channel." And they can just click on your picture and it will take them directly to your channel. You don't have to put your link or anything. Just tell them to check your channel out or whatever, however you want to word it. And you never know, you might get a bunch of new subscribers. That's how I got some of mine, was that I had different ones that I, that I was in their chat all the time, and they would say, "Put a message of some sort, put some kind of a comment in the comment section, and people can go do it." Aw. Nicole says, "I went to Shabby's Facebook, but couldn't find out if they ship. The owner has COVID." Yes, they do. You have to call them, and they're only open certain days of the week. And so it's like Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. Um, I don't know if they answer the phone the rest of the time. So I'm just saying that, they're not open all the time. But you have to call that number and they will take orders over the phone. Brother B says, "We got yours and Marilyn's back." Thank you. It really does mean something when we know that people have our backs, because I mean, I know it's probably silly, but sometimes, you can hear 100 great comments and then that one person comes in and just says something shitty, and it might as well have been flip-flopped in the 100, 100 bad ones and one good one, because it just seems like the bad ones just speak so loud, and we're just normal people. We're not conditioned for people to hate us or threaten us or any of that stuff. We're just normal, sadly, middle-aged women. So, Angie Wilson, thank you so much for the super chat. I am here for Spicy Susie, ate all day long. Thank you. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, how does she still have custody of her son? Debbie, I don't know. Uh, I feel sorry for him too. Yeah, but again, you can go to my community post. I think it just says posts now. But anyway, you can go there and the information for both places is there. And I realize that we don't all live right there, and we've got people in our own neighborhoods that we need to be supporting and everything, and that's true too, and I'm not saying don't do that. Why I did that was, first of all, I was asked to do it. So, I had viewers that asked me to get the information, and so I did. But a lot of Reese's cult, as I like to call them, the cult of claptology, if you know, you know. Anyway, they were leaving bad reviews. They've never been there, nothing, but they were leaving shitty reviews on these people's pages, which is just not right. And so I thought, if we could just give them it, and I don't mean all of us, but if anybody that wants to or whatever can just give them a little bit of support, then, you know. Yes, Heat My Shorts. Brett was on a bunch of videos or a bunch of your videos because of Kurt. Yes, absolutely. He was on a lot. That's where he got his start. And that's why I'm not happy with Kurt either, because he knew. He absolutely knows. And I don't believe for a minute that he doesn't know or didn't know that he was still the same scum that he was when he went into jail or prison. Yeah. Hef says if they, hold on. Absolutely. If they loved him, they wouldn't let him do what he has done. But Kurt is just as much of a criminal as Brett. He just didn't get caught. I tend to believe that 100%. Yes, Nicole. They do not shop. Shabby does not have a website, but I talked to the owner more than once. If you call the number that I posted, they have in on my community page. I printed the email that they sent me that says this is the items that we will deliver, that we can ship. And so, yeah, if you call them and do a phone order, they will ship those items. But now the meat guy does have a website, but Shawbee's does not. They're tiny, y'all. They are a tiny little bakery slash cafe. But everybody that I've talked to says that it's great, including Reese says it's great until she doesn't like them. Yes, exactly. Doing it Deb's way. Just the fact that Brett's mom and brother asked if he hit Reese tells you something. Exactly. And I never could figure out from her little story if he did or not. He was yelling at her and everything, and it bled for so long and all that. And they asked if he hit her. But I don't know if she ever said yes or no. I could never make heads or tails of it. But yeah, they were quick to say, "Did you hit her?" And so Lady Victoria says, he has to be the savior. He has to be the one in the spotlight. He has to be the one that everybody is praising. Well, that's done. I hope. I hope. Whenever I went into all this in the beginning, I said that I didn't want people to lose their channels or anything, but I absolutely want him to lose his channel. I absolutely do. Mhm. Amy says, I heard that in her video. She's preying on the touch part now, meaning the face creams and all of that and rubbing it on her face and so on. I don't even that's one of those, do I even wanna know? Do I even wanna know? Ugh. Brett is a coward. I agree, Debbie, I agree. I yeah, this is the enforcer. I think if he came at me like that, I'd be like, "Fuck you." I'm just not I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. I just he doesn't scare me at all. Yeah, if you have to tell somebody how tough you are, you're not. Absolutely. Yeah, he said what it was once, and then he, changed his story to Viagra. Yeah, he we're not supposed to remember all those things. Yeah. Nicole says, "Why do you all think that Reese went along with it?" I just think that her actions and I can't imagine as a woman and a mother, but as a woman, okay? I can't imagine not being so entirely offended over the fact that he was while he was seeing her, so, like, pretend I'm her, I would have been so offended that he was pulling these cons on people still, while professing to be this changed man and that, he had redeemed himself after prison and all this stuff, and all along, all through it, all she's caring about is if they were prettier than her or if they were in love with him, and I don't think that it would have ever dawned on me to think I mean, oh lord, I don't even know if I could get this out, but to actually think about if Mark admitted to me that he was conning people, okay? And I I cannot imagine that I would be like, "Was she prettier than me? Was she in love with you? I bet she's in love with you." No. I if she is not in some way, shape, or form, at least in the know and went along with it, I agree, Diana. I think that she was benefiting somehow. I agree, Kim. I think they're back together or in I just can't get over the fact that every time one of them disappears, the other one does, and it's for the same amount of time. Every time? Come on. Yeah, I agree with that one too, Deb. She says, "Personally, I think that Tommy, was sorry, was filling her head with talk about how big they can make their channel, and she was seeing money signs." I think so too. I really do. I really do. And, he was, like, saying that it was obvious that he was filling her head with stuff because, he was saying that, like, she's a celebrity and stuff, and I'm sorry, y'all, but 25,000 subs on YouTube does not a celebrity make. It just doesn't. And so, that's delusional. That's a lot for our community, right? We have Aaron that has like a bazillion, not really. He has like, I don't know, 100 and something thousand, I think, or 200 and something thousand. I don't know, like a lot. Okay. 200 and something thousand, I think. I don't know. Anyway, he has a lot, but even he is not a celebrity. Not like that. He's far more well known than her, but he has a buttload more subs than she does. And And another thing that I think is extremely funny was that they both hit 20,000 subs within a few minutes of each other. Now, that was weird. Amy says, "I'm so slap happy at this point." DJ, why doesn't Brett need pockets in his pants? He has his own storage. Mm. Hev says, haha, Darcy is full of shit. Everyone, I must have missed something somewhere. Everyone that knows Alan knows that he tells the truth. Fuck Brett Miller. I would never think that Alan lies about anything. I mean, I just wouldn't. The long and winding con. Da, da, da. They're either cousins or brothers or cousins. Are you talking about Brett and Kurt? They're brothers. Dee Dee says we feel the same, Susie. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. Brother B, if he goes back to prison now, they'll know, won't they? Absolutely. Yeah. Um, Doing it Deb's way says as soon as Brett thought that he could could clout chase basically on the jester stuff and play on Reese's people, he jumped right off the boat and dove into trying to make a go with her. Yep. Reese has torn more women apart than anyone on this platform. Yeah. Including me, that milked my cancer for likes. Like, what good would that do me? I don't know what good it would do me. You don't get paid for likes. Um, I'm the kind of Christian that makes her hate Christians. I I don't even know. She wanted to watch the light drain out of mine and Marilyn's eyes. We are old and we are, basically nobodies and on and on and on and on. Yeah, Kim, they say that on average they have 75 incidents before they get caught. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, Kathleen, with the drugs that he was smuggling over here, the victims might not even realize that they were being victimized because yeah, he was smuggling the date rape drugs up his butthole from Mexico. Hmm. Okay, I'm trying to see if I'm getting close to the bottom. Tony Hoban, good to see you. It's fine that you're late. You can probably just catch up on the replay. Yeah, you can give Mischief your late slip. Well, Mischief was late too, but she had a good excuse. She had taken her husband to the doctor. Cooler by the Lake says Marissa is bad as Brett. Total con and pathological liar. I'd like to find someone, an ex Scientologist who knew her from the Kansas City org and may have receipts for some of her crazy stories. I would too. I would too. If you watch her much, she shows that she's a liar. Like she says one thing and then she will she'll contradict it sometimes in the same live, but it is constant. It is absolutely constant. Yeah, she made fun of me for sending her a Bible when she had been on a live talking about that she had suddenly found Christ and that but she was having a hard time understanding the Bible, so I sent her a study Bible because it's easier to read, and then she mocked me about it, like, online or on her live. So, yeah, that was nice. Y'all, I gotta put some yeah, thanks. My lips are so dry from my, um, allergy medicine, but anyway, yeah, she said that too, and I don't know, just gross. She's just weird. Yeah, she knew for, like, 7 months before they split, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't want either of them around any children. I agree, Debbie. What kind of mom does that? I don't know. Cindy B says Reese is all about the money. And as Knife Hoarder says, she dry begs and moans about how she is a victim and how she can't afford anything, all the while making over six figures on YouTube. Yeah, when you make over $100,000 on super chats alone in a year, you know, super chat, which I don't ask for them or get my mods to ask for them, but mm, super chats are like such a tiny percentage of my income, which I don't make near the money she does, but it's just never been something that I'm concerned about. I mean, it's like I appreciate it when people send me super chats, but I never expect them. And my God, if I looked up and I had made 100 grand, I certainly would not be. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, she's just as bad, just in a different way. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Mike brings a chomo and a grifter into her life and home and around her kid. Just wow. How can anyone respect her? Never mind, watch and send her money. She belongs in prison just like Brett. I tend to believe so because I do truly believe that she's in on this con and that even if she isn't, it is against the law. Grifting is against the law. And when you're sitting there and you're telling these people, "It's so cold. I'm so freezing. I can't turn my heat up because I can't afford to pay the bill." And somebody says, "Well, I'm sitting here with, a hoodie and whatever, all this stuff on and 3 pairs of socks and blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, I can't wear socks. They drive me crazy. I can't wear socks." Bitch, if you are cold, you put some socks on. You will put some damn socks on. Mm. And if she's as hot as she says she is when she can't turn her air up, then why isn't she sweating? How can she still have full face of very thick makeup on and no sweat, no nothing? She'll even sometimes put a sweater on or something. You know, I don't buy it. I don't buy anything. That is an absolute grift. Absolute grift. Marlene says Reese plays dumb, but she's very calculating. Absolutely. I'm telling you, her and Tommy are or Brett are like a match made in heaven. They really should just get on together. Yeah. Hef says he never stopped victimizing women. He never has. Yeah. How did he get on Sean Atwood's channel? I don't know. I don't know. Grifters will grift. Fuck that guy. Fuck that grifter. Diane Hill says Reese's followers or her cult aren't too smart. Yeah. They are vicious, though. Lord have mercy. Y'all just wait. I'm not kidding. After this is over, give it a day or 2, because sometimes they're not real fast either. But come back and check out my comments on this video. Go look at some of the others that I've talked about Tommy or Reese and see some of the comments that we get. I don't delete them 9 times out of 10, or probably even less than that. I do not delete them because I figure if they're brave enough to say that shit, I am brave enough to let them. Yeah, Sean Atwood will give anybody a platform. That's true too. Oh, she's on live. We'll have to I don't wanna have to go watch her. God, guys. I don't wanna watch her. Knife Hoarder does tell it straight. That's what even whenever I was a absolute cult member, y'all, I was. I mean, I would watch his stuff and I'd be like, "But he's not lying." I mean, the thing that kept me, like, from completely, absolutely just, you know, buying into it all was I thought, "Where the hell did Keela and Jimena and Hockeytown John and Blake and, a whole bunch, Hef, all these where'd they all go?" I can tell you where a bunch of them went. They're my mods now. Yeah. I just went in there and just scooped them right up, and I guaranteed on one thing whenever I asked them if they wanted to mod for me, I said, "I will never treat you like shit. I will never say I gave you an order or I gave you a job to do, now do it. I gave you a job to do, now fucking do it." No. They're more likely to tell me that than I am them. I'm kidding. They're all sweet as can be to me, and I try to be nice to them too. We are all friends, and they are good people, and all like, so many people that have left her and Brett are such good people. Marlene says, "Reese knows what she had with Tommy. I think he's getting ready to out her." I've heard that too, but I don't know. Can we give a shout out to Doug Kramer? I actually never knew him, but I've never heard anything bad about him. I've only ever heard good. So yes, rest in peace, Doug. Absolutely. He would have went after them. If they think that me and Marilyn have got their number. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Mischief. I was just going to ask that, but yes, Doug Kramer's amazing content can still be found here. I say that I don't I never met him, and I didn't, but I came on the scene about the same time that when he was still missing, and, it's heartbreaking, and it is just very. Yeah, rest in peace, Doug. But I always wanna say that first off that I didn't know him because I know some people that they didn't know anything about him either, and yet, now it's all like they trying to clout chase off of him, and I just think that is sick, so. Yeah. It is very crazy, Amy, I agree, where they're waiting for him to show up and oh, that was so awful. I was just like, "What has happened?" I like I said, I didn't know him, so I was like, not emotionally involved, but he's a human being, and so therefore I felt involved, but not on a personal level. But since then, I have watched so many of his things, and his videos, I just think he was pretty cool. Diane says, "I totally agree with you, Susie. Something is fishy." Yes. Canadian girl. Marilyn did an amazing show on Toots today. So please, y'all, when this is over, which it is just about over with, please go watch that. It is worth it. She reads directly from the documents that she got from the court, and Goot's back again, and he'll watch everything on the replay. Thank you, Goot. You're so sweet. Buckled Up Buttercup never watched them. Good for you. Yeah, I don't like it either, Nicole, when people use charm and charisma to take advantage of people. I don't like that. Cooler. Oh, I read that wrong, Marilyn. This is cooler. It's all about the grift. But that would be the way I read it at first would be kind of a funny thing. Cooler by the grift or something, But yeah, cooler by the lake. Yeah, it's all about the grift. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Carol. You're one of the lurkers. Hey, I love my lurkers. I love them. Yeah, I think Brett's mother knows everything too. I've had a couple little tips given to me about the mom, not being quite so up and up, but I am having a really hard time finding it. You know, I I've I've heard some rumors, but I'm not going to go with I'm not going to go with rumors, but I am still looking for proof that the mom is a bit of a crim herself. Ugh. Yeah, Kristen, how does an unlicensed rando felon get access to Suboxone? I don't know. I really don't. Kim says, when he talked about falling off the ladder, I was laughing my ass off because I thought that he was just joking. There's no way in hell someone in the right mind would do that. Yeah, I didn't see him whenever he said that because I was already done with him. But yeah, Goat Q is not real either. But I kept thinking, what? I mean, and I don't know. The ladder I saw wasn't even that big, so I don't know. I have fallen that far or farther before. Uh, oh yeah. Angie says, Kristen, you just say you're an addict and you get it. It's easy. Hmm. Canadian girl says she might not be a chomo, but she preys on the elderly. The thing that turned me a little bit whenever I very first started kind of, having a bad feeling about her was when she showed the recording of Fred's death. And I gave her the benefit of having, the benefit of the doubt about having um video cameras in the house because I understand. I mean, if your husband is 95 years old, you're probably afraid he's gonna fall or hoping. I don't know. So I can understand having cameras so that if you've got an elderly person in the house and you've got cameras to make sure that if they fall that it and can get them help. I can understand that the camera was positioned in such a way that she could have accidentally recorded his passing. I understand that at a later date that may have even been comforting to her to be able to have their last moments together to review. Okay, I'm not saying that I would have done any of this. I'm saying, okay, benefit of the doubt. What I don't give the benefit of the doubt to is playing that to the internet where potentially, millions of people could see it. I just think it's a terrible invasion of his privacy, you know. Old Man on the Hill says Q was an erotic fantasy for him. Tony Hoban says, so he lies about journaling too. Yeah, that's what I hear. So, guys, I'm gonna have to skip down through here a little bit and just try to see if I can tell if it's a question or. Yeah, that's what I wonder, Goot. I wonder if he is scamming, um, SSA for a check for his brain injury. Brett is not hardcore. He wants you to think he is, but I think he's a hardcore liar and con artist. But I don't think that he's yeah, I don't think that he's, yeah, Nicole, they say karma's a bitch. I have that shirt that I was talking about yesterday that says, you know, it's called karma and it's pronounced ha, ha, ha. And I was gonna wear that shirt today, but then I thought, "Oh, hell no. I had already had forgot that I had gotten my shirt." Uh, yeah, Jenny's here. Good to see you. Jenny's here. Yeah. Sam is smart to get far, far away from Brett. Get away, stay away. Sam was notified by the feds at least twice asking about his affiliation with Brett and the guns, and I hope he stays far, far away from Reese too, because I am telling you, she was seeing like visions of not Chom, God, ugh, Krim, God, she was seeing visions of Krim 2.0. I will say that if I had to pick a cram between the two of them, it would definitely be Sammy. But, he's like a brother to me too. I love him. I got two brothers on here now for sure. I've got Sammy and I've got Knife Hoarder Tom. They are like little brothers to me, and nobody better mess with them either. They'll have to put up with me. But I did this whole thing with my grandson one day. I'm like, look at my guns. I have my guns up. And he does this. What's this? And I said, ammunition. It's ammo, kid. Mm. I don't know, Jenny's here, if his daughter has a restraining order. I don't know. That's another one of those things. Yeah. Yeah. Ben Bacon Bits. Yeah, that's another one of his latest is that he wants to go in, you know, Brett Miller wants to go into schools and talk to kids. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. What the hell? These schools better. Mm. Yeah, Diane. The thing with Reese going to the Home Depot and Lowe's trying to pick up men it's gross. Her little cult thinks it's hilarious, and I think that it is ick. I just think it's so just ugh. And I mean, she's like, he she insults the people. Yeah, 45,000 is not the lotto. Yeah, I won the lotto. I won the lotto. I'm never gonna have to work again. $45,000? No. I'm sorry. It's not. Yeah, he needs 4.5 million in today's world to feel very comfortable. Absolutely. And you figure that even if he got that and then taxes are going to be about half of it. So, it's I don't know. I mean, sure, if somebody wants to hand me $45,000, I'm fine with it. You know? Just remember, YouTube takes 30%, so don't be sending me no $45,000 super chats, y'all. Lord. But yeah. I mean, if you want to. No, I'm kidding. I'm just ugh, gotta joke about it. Yeah, I think so, Canadian girl. I think that it does need to be the more attention needs to be put on her preying on older men, but there's not a crime against it. So Jenny's here. Marissa, I need to start saying her name right. Marissa couldn't see the slime dripping off of Brett. Sweetheart, a lot of people still haven't seen the slime dripping off of Brett. It must be gray slime, though, because have you looked at him lately? He just looks like absolute shit. Marilyn says, "Thank you, Susie, for helping spread the word. You're much more calm than me." You did good, girl. Don't be selling yourself short. She may not even be here anymore, but she might see it later, or I'll tell her later. Yeah, when mommy dies, those two degenerates are going to drop her in the freezer and keep cashing in on her Social Security checks. I don't doubt that, old man on the hill. She'll be the first woman. She'll be in the Guinness World Book of Records. One of them will have to dress up like her, which means they might have to shave their little goatees, but one of them could dress up like her and she could be 130 years old or something. And yeah, I hope he does too. Jenny's here. I hope he goes to college far, far, far away from Marissa. Yeah, Amy, I don't have anything against prisoners. I don't either. I mean, as long as they, come out and they have reformed and they're, living a good life and everything, I don't mean good like they're living a good life. I mean like they're not out still doing crime is what I meant. No problem with it. I think it's stupid for people to. Yeah, was he even a skier? I don't know. I guess I doubt that he was to the level that he tries to say he was. Yeah. Tony says exactly, Susie. It just proves that he hasn't changed at all. No honesty at all. Yeah. Diane Hill says that she found Brett Miller on the true crime channel called Surviving the Survivor. He hasn't been on that channel in months. Yeah. I think people figure out. Yeah, his what happened to his Alzheimer's. It's some kind of a brain injury that he has, but it only pops up when he needs to not have been able to remember something. So, oh, Marilee says, "Love you, Vetta." I'll have to tell her. She's my little sweetheart. So, what's the difference between statutory and what he was convicted of? Statutory is more like, and I'm just going to paraphrase, I'm not going to give you the legal definitions, but statutory is more like, okay, y'all, nobody fall over and have a heart attack. But whenever I was a young girl, I was having sex with my boyfriend. Okay, he was I think 17, and I was 16. I think maybe 15 or 16, probably both technically. And my parents found out, and my mom threatened to file statutory rape charges on him. Basically, it's that I wouldn't be filing them, but that my parents would say that it was against my will, or that, they would be charging him, kind of thing. Um, it's kind of a statutory usually goes along with that there was consent, but that the victim was underage, kind of thing. Like, it can even be that there was consent, but that the victim was underage. Therefore, it's usually the parents that are actually filing it. So what he was convicted of was never called statutory. It was always called sodomy, forceful sodomy. Um, he was charged as an adult. He was not charged as a minor, even though he was a minor when it happened. And I wish, I really, really, really do. I wish that I could believe that that was, that was 100 years ago and that he's a different person now. But is he? I don't think he is. I believe that some people might have done something when they were, 15, 16 years old, and that was the one and only time. And, but his actions after the fact were completely just, if he'd have just left her alone, she would have never filed. But he kept on and on and on. And So, I just am like, did he change? And then the stuff that we have seen since then with how he treats people, I don't believe that he's changed. So, but that's it. It's kind of a consent, but underage versus absolutely without consent. A little shih tzu. Yeah. We call her a little shit because she is something. She's so black though. Guys that, because their face is so flat and everything, and her little hair, our dogs are going to the groomers on Wednesday. I don't remember. Yeah, Wednesday, because I'm gonna take them to the groomers, do my live, and then my daughter will probably have to pick mine up when she picks hers up. But anyway, unless we get them before my live, which sometimes they're very fast and get them done before I will be going live. But anyway, her hair has grown so much that you can't find her face. We swear up and down that if it wasn't for her little tail that wags, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in her face and her ass. Yeah. Statutory is consensual with when somebody is underage. Yeah. Yeah. Even Joel liked old Tommy. Yeah. Aw, thank you, F. She nominates Marilyn and Susie for Women of the Year. Maybe Marilyn. Okay, I'm gonna go down through here pretty fast, y'all. I keep thinking I'm to the bottom, and then yeah, the sex stuff was too much on with their channel. Yeah. Yeah, 98% are all bark and no bite, but beware of the 2%. I agree. Yeah, he's a little tattletale. He's a little tattletale, y'all. What gets me is how he goes on his stuff and he, like, talks shit about chomos and talks shit about informants and snitches and all that, and I'm like, "What?" Uh, oh, y'all. Diane Hill says, "Trump supporter here." I don't care. I don't like him, and I have made no secret of that, but I don't care. You don't support Tommy, we're good. Or Brett. Yeah. Now that's weird. I did read that. There was a Brett Miller that was a professional skier that died of melanoma in 2003. So I don't even know if that part is true about him. I don't know. Yeah, he was originally from Long Island, but they have been all over the place, y'all. I am telling you, when I was, really trying to find stuff about his mom and then trying to find stuff about him and everything, because I've been, for the last year, it's just like a constant thing that I've been like snooping into, all this background. They were all over the place. I just don't know. So, yeah. Wait a minute. I want to see that. I missed something. Hold on. And I probably still will because I don't know. I saw somebody say that something that Jenny said would be epic evidence, and I missed it. My yes, I agree. She has a young son at home within earshot of so much of what she says. Yeah. Yeah, now he says that he suffers from erectile disorder. Sure he does. They never talked about that before. Yeah. Mm. I agree, Marilyn. Mexican long hair is a douchebag, just saying. I think so too. Um, I told him that too, basically. So he's probably had nice things to say about me too, because he really likes when women stand up to him. Hey, Joel, good to see you. Oh, he was speaking at a dinner. So cool. I would love to hear you speak at a dinner. Yeah, I think so too. I think that I agree. Jenny's here. I think that I remember seeing that other Brett Allen Miller had died, and that he was the skier. So I don't even think that this asshole is a skier. I've never seen any evidence of it. Thanks for offering that, Susie. Yes, heat my shorts. Y'all seriously go on the chat afterwards, or not the chat, the you're late, Pete. Joel. Now stop it. I'm gonna start charging late fees. No, never. You're gonna get people talking about me. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, it was for the vet clinic. Good, Joel. Joel is an absolute. He is something else. He takes care of those animals and stuff. I need to have him on there and just, which I think I don't like to. Sometimes I will do kind of the same thing that Marilyn's doing. If like today, she did that her way and she did so good, y'all. But then I wanted to come on and just bitch about it because she's too nice. I mean, she's nicer than I am, and everybody talks about her, and I'm like, I'm just a bitch, and I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, go fund yourself. But gosh, guys, Kurt is his brother. Buckled up, Buttercup. It's Johnny Scoville. Kurt Miller is his real name. Lori Driscoll. That's he shoved luggage at her. I'm not sure what that means. Huh. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Brett threw the luggage at Marissa. I don't know if that gave her a bloody nose or. Yeah. Yeah, Diane, he is back to making videos. He looks like. Oh my God. Brett looks like a turkey without feathers. Y'all, there was this. My oldest daughter had a boyfriend back in high school, and we just loved him. He's always going to be, like family to us. But anyway, so she had this boyfriend. He was, I don't know, they were young, 16 or something. And we went out to the lake. I was always taking him out to the lake and having a picnic and stuff with him. So I took him out to the lake, and they saw this guy walking down by the edge of the lake, and I'm pretty sure he was wearing like a Speedo. Okay. And he was an older guy that did not need. Mm-mm, it's not a good look. So anyway, the guy was like as white as, I mean, he looked like that grayish white, like my chair. So anyway, he looked like that. And this Devin, her boyfriend, he goes, turkey meat. He's just like, turkey meat. you know. So now this reminds me of that Brett looks like a turkey without feathers. Turkey meat. uh, Brett's a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, sure. Ugh. I think I'd rather see him fight. Oh gosh, guys, we have been like almost 2.5 hours. I'm really trying to, oh gosh, that really, oh goodness, my thing keeps jumping. I'm like, oh my, oh wow. Uh, Girl, I just appreciate y'all being here and this chat has been good. I don't know if my mods have had to deal with any trolls, but not that I've seen, but there might have been there, but yeah. Ingrid says she's confused because of the age at the time. It's been over 30 years. Yeah, it has. But the thing is that first of all, he didn't learn from his mistakes. He has went on to continue to not only, I mean, I don't even hold the drug use against him because I mean, you know, I just don't. But he has went on to rob banks, be a absolute con man. He's made his living. He says he's made $1 million like 3 times. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. But and he is now um still conning people. Still to this day. Still conning people. And so it just goes a lot to talk about what kind of a person he is. And the fact that he lies about it. Like I said, that if he had honestly just came forward and said, I did this horrible, horrible, horrible thing, then maybe I could have some grace for him. But instead, he has said that the girl was a liar. He has said that it was statutory, that they had a thing going, and then that, she ended up mad at him over something and ended up filing on him. None of that was true. She wore a wire and he was dumb and confessed to everything, and the cops found it, just like he was dumb and confessed to everything with Marissa. Why nobody is doing anything about that, I don't know. Probably because, like he said, he's a con man and he knows how to do it. He didn't ask for the money. They just sent him the money. So Susie is a long way from old, not a long way. Yeah, Hef says, "I'm a sassy old lady and proud of it." Me too, really. I don't know, it really bothered me the other day when I was told that well, I've been told that it seems like that you would want to spend your days final days being kind or in your twilight years. I'm just like, "Okay, whatever." Yeah, he has continued to do things, Ingrid, but the women are scared. And I have heard audio messages where he has been talking to some of these women and how he talks to them and threatens them. I understand that he is scared. And trust me, he is not a good person. He is not worthy of anybody's concern or care. Yeah. Yeah, Amy. So Brett led her to the Lord, as in he brought her to Jesus. Yes. And that was another thing that she said that she talked to God and that God answered her and that God told her that he's on her side against me and Marilyn and Heth and anybody else, that he's on her side and that she's right and that we're just bad people. I don't think God told her that. I just don't. I don't believe that her therapist tells her that. It's another, I don't believe that her therapist exists. Merrily, smartass. She says, "Yep, send Susie lots of super chats and PayPal money." And then she says, "Not." 'Cause she knows that is against the rules. We don't ask for money. We don't hint for money. She knows she's being a smartass. She's a smartass, y'all. She acts nice and sweet, and she is. She's absolutely, but oh, honey. Yeah, he did shove Marissa down the lifeboat's throats. Absolutely. Yeah, good. I appreciate that. He says there's nothing wrong with super chats. It's the cons like Marissa and Brett. That's wrong. Absolutely. I agree. I don't have a problem with anybody making money on YouTube, including them. I just don't want them to manipulate to get it. I just don't. Yeah. FTG, fuck that guy or fuck that grifter. Absolutely. Don't forget, y'all. I'm a shirt carrying member. The Journey says, I gave 2 months subs for $50 each because I thought that she was struggling to leave. She has support and lives on her mom's property, buying friends and having a woe is me attitude, sorry, blows my mind. Yeah, absolutely. She works for her stepdad part-time so that she can have insurance. Um, she's got it made, and yet she still just goes on and on and on. Imagine making a few thousand a month and saying you can't afford heat in a rent-free domicile on family property. Absolutely, Goop. Absolutely. I don't know. Why doesn't she get a job? I agree. Why do people send her money? Why doesn't she get a job? I agree. I you know, I don't know. She somehow manages to just worm her way in, and I'm speaking from experience. There's people here, I mean, even Hef, I mean, can speak from experience that she just had some way of, worming her way in. Yeah. Goot. Atwell has similar skeletons in his closet. I think so too, from what I've heard. So, yeah. Oh, I'm really trying to get to everybody, I promise. I don't answer everybody because some of it I'm just like, okay, that was asked before. And John says if I jump on a plane with my hubby, that he'll tattoo us both for free. My husband has 0 tattoos. I have 9. He has 0, and he does not want any. I have tried. I have tried to get him. I think we might go see Sammy at some point. I think he's gonna do this one that I want. He's gonna give. I think we're gonna have. I think he's gonna do a bird that I lost to surgery. I had 2 hummingbirds on my chest, along with I've got one that goes across here and down my side. That's um, cherry blossoms, and then it had 2 hummingbirds. Well, um, with some of my surgeries, one of the hummingbirds went bye bye. So he said that he would like to replace that hummingbird, and so I think we're gonna do that sometime. I don't know when. And Anyway, I've got another one that I'm kinda wanting to do. Yeah, I think so too. Goot, he's rubbing it in everyone's face, a chomo talking about talking to kids in schools. Uh, yeah, schools turn him on since way back. Yeah, considering that his offense happened in a school. I just, hey, Candace. Always and forever. Yeah. Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna have to cut this short. I mean, we've got more people in here now than we did before. I hate to leave when we're still, like, gaining people, but, oh, I'm getting tired. Yeah. Uh, Oh, thank you, Itchy Thetans. I love the brightly colored hair. It matches your personality. My husband don't care for it. He is very just yeah, it's chummy. My husband's very straight-laced. He's not at all, like, weird about stuff. He's very like, I have a bunch of gay friends. He's fine with them. I have, um, black friends. He's fine with them. And he's great with everybody. He's not, like, at all weird about people. He doesn't have a problem with people that have had a criminal past. Analytical Barney, thank you so much for the furthering of coverage. Thank you so much for your super chat. Um, I don't mean it like that he's, like, got a stick up his ass about people. I just mean that he don't want any tattoos, and I don't know if he's ever been high, you know? Me and my daughter are always like, "We just wanna get him to smoke some weed." Ugh, yeah, this is funny. Yeah, the last time that I watched, he was going off about crones, calling the cops on him or something. I know. I don't know who he was talking about, but it's like, dude, more than half of your audience is what you would call an old crone. Joel had to go help his wife. Yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm gonna go up here and check the starred ones, make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, guys, I think I'm gonna have to go for tonight. I'm really tired and I have a couple of big days coming up. So, Thursday, y'all, we have a sorry, I gotta get a drink. We have a fundraiser live on Thursday at I think it's at 10 in the morning Central Time for our very own mischief. She's having a little bit of absolutely not their fault financial problems right now. And I kind of begged her to let me help a little bit. And so I got lipstick on my teeth now. So anyway, we're gonna have a little fundraiser there. And if any of you can come in and help, even $5 really, really helps a lot. Again, if you can't, and don't put yourself in any kind of a bind to do it. This is not like a grifting, sad fishing, dry begging situation, but this is a good, good person that, if you would like to help, that we can. I also have the information in my community page if you want to look at that. Tomorrow, I do believe that Sammy is doing some kind of a marathon to benefit her too. Please check that out if you want to. I don't know exactly what he's doing on his. I haven't got to talk to him today. Um, I'm hoping to be on it at some point, but I do have a doctor's appointment with my oncologist tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to work around that a little bit or a whole lot. But Yeah, I wanna be on that if at all possible, and, I mean, even if I just pop in and be like, "Hey, I totally support this, yay," kinda deal. We will have PayPal, Cash App, there's another one. There's 3 different ways that you can make donations to her. I've only listed the PayPal so far, but I'm gonna list the others, and anyway, please just see those. I do have a couple of other really great lives I think they're gonna be great coming up. Um, aw. Anyway, I'm excited about this week. I think we've got some good stuff. Go watch Marilyn's live from today, please. And I hate to leave kind of with still people on here, but I'm at 2.5 hours, and I am probably headed to bed pretty quick. So, I get tired easy still from my year and a half solid of chemo. Grifting as usual. Oh, no, 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 it wasn't grifting. I was milking it for likes. So, make sure you like. 'Cause I mentioned my cancer, y'all. You're gonna have to, give me something, right? Hit that like button. But anyway, I am gonna go. People are starting to leave now. They're tired of listening to me. I will see you guys tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure. It's gonna all depend on my doctor's appointment. So anyway, in the meantime, you know, absolutely fuck that guy, fuck that grifter, and I will see you tomorrow.